man, this is a rough time in our country. You know, I'm disgusted that Time put Donald Trump on the cover of his magazine, Brian.
Yeah, I am too.
Like, this just honestly, I was on a live this morning, and listen, I think you and I agree. Nobody is rejoicing in the assassination of a guy. But I will say this, and I've seen this a lot. This feels a lot like Diaz for Vendetta. I mean, what are people supposed to do, Brian? We got the healthcare system that's letting 70,000 people die because of they want to make more money. We got 450 mass shootings just this year alone in America. And Nancy Mace is talking about transgenders in bathrooms. They pick out one of those shootings. Oh, look, Lincoln Riley, out of the thousands of mass shootings, that one was done by an immigrant. Oh, go scare the white people.
Yeah.
Like, and then people like Scott Jennings and CNN and Time Magazine, Donald Trump effing raped a woman, Brian.
Yep.
And they put him on the goddamn cover of Time Magazine. And I am upset because I have people in my family that are victims of rape, and they're horrified.
Yeah, you're right.
We're a shithole country.
It's amazing. You bring up Lincoln Riley, right? And obviously, it's a tragic story. With that being said, there were, sadly, plenty of undocumented immigrants that committed very serious crimes, including murder, under the Donald Trump administration. But you never heard any Republican under that time frame bring up their names. Now, I've brought up some of those names on this show, not to use them to score political points, just to make the point, which is it happens under Republican and Democrat presidents' leadership.
I know.
And it's horrible, and I wish it didn't happen, but they use these deaths to score political points. And then after a mass, shooting where children are killed, Republicans will accuse Democrats of using it to score political points, when I could not disagree with that more. When Democrats talk about gun control, it's because they don't want innocent people to die in this country. They don't care what they look like. They don't care where they're from or whether they have an R or D next to their name. They don't want innocent people to die, and they want to do something about it. When Democrats talk about gun control, they're not doing it pandering, trying to get votes. They're doing it because they actually care about the safety of the American people. But when Republicans complain about the border, when Republicans talk about the Riley death, they're not doing it because they care about the American people and safety, because if they did, they would do something about gun control. And by the way, any of these Republicans out there that say they care about kids, and they want to talk about child sex trafficking, these are the same bastards who didn't want the Matt Gaetz report to be out there in public, so they could go fly a kite. They're all liars and hypocrites.
But Brian, this is listen, I'm just upset because these are, who's going to get screwed? The regular, everyday people. Trump doesn't give a shit about them. He doesn't care if they are unemployed, if they have to work 8 jobs. He just worries about us rich people. Elon Musk went on Fox News yesterday and said, any person in Congress or Senate that doesn't approve his cabinet picks, he will personally fund his opponents. Brian, that's we're leaving democracy. We're going to autocracy where we're ruled by oligarchs. So I guess my question to you is, what are people supposed to do? Like, they're working 2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
They can't pay their bills. They can't afford food. And we got Elon Musk walking around like a goddamn king and a god because he owns half the wealth in this country. Like, what are people supposed to do? I mean, it's an honest question. What are they supposed to do if not protest or start a revolution? Because the people being in power are doing the same thing over and over again. They have no reason to change.
Under the Donald Trump regime, the rich will continue to get richer. The poor will continue to get poorer. If you look at most Democrats that are in office, that have been president of the United States, that have been in leadership positions, many of their policies do not help the rich. They actually help middle class and the people that are poor living paycheck to paycheck. Not every Democrat is perfect, but if you look at the policies that are even implemented today, whether it had been raising minimum wage, whether it be something simple like maternity leave or unemployment benefits, welfare, food stamps, none of these were implemented because of Republicans. So people vote against their self-interest, unfortunately.
But Brian, and you're right. Like, I don't know how you fix that. Like, Texas voted Ted Cruz, who left his state while people were literally freezing to death, burning their furniture to stay warm,
Yep.
and he goes to Mexico and they re-elect the jackass.
It's
they
the
got
same
2
reason
million
why
people.
it's the same reason why people voted for Donald Trump. They don't care if you're an adjudicated rapist, and they don't care if you leave the state when your state is in an emergency and fly to Cancun, so long as you have an R next to your name, because they hate Democrats that much. And I'm sick of these people. And quite frankly, I feel like it's almost half the country now. I really do. And
Hey,
it's
Brian,
sad.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of callers.
Yeah.
You know, and I know this is an unpopular opinion. I am personally sick and tired of people saying that we're the greatest country in the world. I am sick of this flag worshiping, flag wearing, taking a knee, standing, taking off your hat, putting your hands over your heart. We live in a shithole country right now. We don't care about people. We care about rich people. Do you agree with me? Because I'm sick of this. We're the greatest country in the world. For who? For Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, I'll tell you,
great for this country.
I'm not, this is, and thank you for the call, Paul. I'm not, how should I word this? I'm going to say something that I've never said on the air in 20 years. And I've never uttered these words in my life, but I am going to say it now. I do not believe the United States of America today in 2024 is the best country in the world. I do not. Because I see who we voted back into office. I see all the bigotry and the hatred. Now, listen, we have more freedoms than most countries in the world. I'd certainly rather live in the United States than a lot of other places. There's no question about that. And we still have a lot of freedoms and benefits in this country that many other countries in the world do not have. I don't discount that. But think about where we are at as a country right now. Think about how divided we are. Think about the people that are going to be leaders and leading this country. Think about the people that might be leaders, like the Pete Hegseths of the world, the Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s of the world, the Tulsi Gabbards. Best country in the world? I don't hate this country. I love this country. I hate a lot of things that are happening in this country right now. So I agree with Paul's sentiment. Are we the best country in the world? I'm not so sure anymore. It's sad where we're at. The culture wars, the hypocrisy. It's only good for me. I don't care if it's not good for you. It's only good for me. And we have a guy that basically owns half the world, who now is pretty much acting as Donald Trump's closest advisor. You want to call him the vice president, that's fine.